So today makes 70 days of my daily posting on YouTube. And one thing I'm realizing today is that I was not prepared for the level of visibility that I'm receiving as I thought. When you start posting any content creator, I've never heard anybody talk about this, but I think this is a common thing around you posting your content. You obviously want the followers, you want the views, you want the engagement, you want people to buy into you and your story and to follow along. It's easy to do that when it's strangers, people you've never met before, and they are resonating with your content and they're engaging, so you feel seen, you feel like you're showing up in a way that matters to people. And then you realize it's not just strangers anymore, it's people who you know, it's people who you know from your past, it's people who you know presently, it's people that are in your personal lives that know the real you, that see you in different spaces more often. And it's people who formed opinions of you, of who they think you are, even without knowing the full picture. This has helped me to see that the fear has never been around creating. It's more like being seen creating by people who know you in real life. And it's because you're doing it publicly. You're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're making tons and tons of mistakes on the internet. You're being judged left, right, and center. And it's just one of those uncomfortable things to experience. I don't know if I can explain it to you. Unless you've been in the spot, you can definitely have to see it, experience it to understand for yourself. This has happened to me more times than one in my life, and every single time it happens, it's never a feeling that I've gotten used to. And it has really helped me to see that, you know, when you're doing something, when nobody's watching, it's easier for you to do something than when other people are watching you. And sometimes it's because of your own ideas of what you think other people are thinking. They may not even be thinking that thing, but just because we are in our heads so much, we just kind of assume the worst sometimes just to protect ourselves. Yeah, I've heard, actually, you know what? As I'm saying, I've never heard people talk about it. I've seen a lot of videos. I've never watched any of them, but I've seen it, and I think this is the notion that they're coming from. Probably I need to watch some. But when they're talking about your fear of being seen is keeping you stuck or keeping you broke or keeping you this or that, I think this is what they're talking about. Because, as I said, it's one thing to show up for a bunch of strangers who don't know you when you turn the camera on. But when people do see you every single day, and then you're sharing parts of your story, your journey that feels personal to you, that you're exploring, and some people in your spaces may never know those sides of you just because that's not the dynamic of your interactions. It feels a little bit exposing, and I think that's the part where it kind of goes into the territory of not wanting to be seen, because it comes with a level of feeling like your privacy is eroded, which is weird because this is on the public internet for everybody to see, but it's just a different feeling when it comes into your space without your consent, if you know what I mean, if that clears it up. But this helps you to be fearless, because now it's all out there. You see what you see, you take what you take, and you leave what's not yours. And it just helps you to build a muscle of confidence, because you're taking back that power of validation seeking and giving it to yourself. Because there's one thing when there's a lot of people who know you personally, and they see your content, but they won't engage with it in a way that pushes your platform forward. They won't like, they won't share, they won't comment, and those things. But you see them doing that for a lot of strangers that they never met, they most likely will never meet, and they don't know anything about them other than what they're seeing on the internet. And it's the same thing for everybody else, right? Because some of those people who are getting the engagement from people that we know personally, people that they know personally aren't engaging with their stuff. So it goes both ways. It's just that when you are putting yourself out there and putting your content out, you are just seeing the repercussion first and for yourself. You're just not seeing it for them. But it helps you to become confident in yourself and validate your own self and what you're putting out. Because at the end of the day, whenever I make a video and upload, especially now since I've started with my daily content, it's something that I have connected with, whether it's something that I'm going through personally as an experience, or something that I just feel I went through and I feel connected to talk about it. So it's definitely something that's coming through me and not something that's just manufactured just because, but it's something that I deeply connect with and want to share. And so I feel a level of comfort with whatever I'm talking about, because since I have just started this new phase, I'm just not talking about things just because I'm supposed to or because it's trendy. I'm actually talking about things that I believe in, that matter to me, that make sense to me. And so that alone in itself gives me my own validation. So when I put my content out there, it's just for you guys to also hear where I'm at. But it's not necessarily a space where I'm like, okay, this is what I'm saying. If you all don't agree, I'm not going to post. And getting to a place like that is a combination of your own self-confidence from yourself and also having these experiences. Because the first time this happened to me, I felt like I wanted to just hide and shut down. And the second time it happened, I also felt that way too. But because I had the muscle being built from the first time, I didn't shut down the second time. I kind of just had a moment of shutdown, but I still recovered from it faster. And that is just about life in general. When we go through things, it's to help us develop the muscle to recover faster the second time. It's not about never going down. It's not about ever facing obstacles and facing barriers, but it's about developing the muscle to be able to recover faster and, get back on track, because the win is really in the recovery time, and the goal is always to reduce the recovery time. So if you feel uncomfortable being seen, I get it. If from this angle, I finally think I understood it, because I've been battling with why do I feel this way and what exactly am I feeling, and I'm just able to put it into words, because it's just a difference. It's just a different thing, especially when you're trying to figure it out publicly and you're not just keeping the low moments to yourself, but you're actually sharing those moments and people are seeing where you're actually at, in a way that they would have never seen in a personal conversation. Because the truth of the matter is, some conversations just don't go that far, that just does not have that depth. It just doesn't have the depth of what I would come on and share. And yeah, so people are just seeing different versions of you that they just wouldn't have known just because of the dynamics. And it creates that invasion. I think that's the right word, but it creates that invasion where you're like, okay, yeah. But I want to tell you that even if you feel that way and you feel like you want to hide, I get it. I understand it so deeply. I've done the hiding, and I've done different versions of the hiding. I've completely just abandoned and I've hid until I was able to recover, and then I continued. And you feel a lot more in control of the situation when you don't allow it to keep you down too long. So if you are in that space, or that's one of your fears why you don't want to put yourself out there for whatever reason, whether it's just to become an influencer or full-time content creator, or you want to start a business and you want to build content around it, or just for fun, creative hobbies, I get it. That is a real fear, because I felt it so many times, and I felt it on deep levels. Sad, I felt a lot of different emotions around it. I felt exposed, I felt sad, I felt hungry, I felt frustrated, and I felt like, why am I feeling all of these things and it's a public space? But at the end of the day, your reason for why you're doing something has to be bigger than any feeling of any temporary feeling that's going to come and go in the process of it. And because I know that I'm genuinely talking about what I want to talk about, it's easier for me to recover. So if you do feel that way because of anything that's going on in your environment and surrounding, I want to tell you that I get it. You're not alone in that feeling, but you also have to remember why you're doing it and why it matters and why you should continue. Okay? So show up for yourself and show up for the people who are genuinely invested in your becoming, or genuinely invested in your process, who are buying into your story, or genuinely invested in seeing you get to the next level, genuinely invested in seeing you growing, and also are learning from what you're sharing to invest in themselves as well. Because everything that we do share, everything that we choose to encourage, and any work that we put in, it does not just benefit us, it benefits anybody that is interacting with our products, or in this case, the video. So don't allow the fear of being seen to stop you. If you need to take some time to just get with the to regather yourself, you take that time and you put yourself back out there, because the right people are rooting for you, even if you face judgment or criticism or whatever it is. Just be true to yourself and make sure that what you're doing is something you believe in and something that you actually want to do, because that will help you to sustain and to push past moments of discomfort. All right, so that's what I wanted to get on here and share today. I don't know if you needed to hear this, but if you do, I send this message with lots of love. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was very helpful to you, and if it was, give me a thumbs up, and so this video can reach more people, and share it with anybody who you know could benefit from this content. Also, if you've been watching the videos and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, and tell me in the comments below, what has the fear of being seen stopping you from doing? I would love to hear below. All right, and thank you so much. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and thank you for joining us. If you're my loyal subscriber, thank you so much for watching this video. All right, and also please follow me on all social media platforms at Khrista-Lee. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Let's go make some mistakes. Bye.